Hello, everyone. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the franchise, the monopoly that is Micky Byggs, right here on Wrestling Spotlight. My next guest is a man among men, a true gangster of professional wrestling, an ECW alumni, a member of DeBaldi's, my good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Kingpin, Angel. Angel, welcome to Wrestling Spotlight.
First of all, I really appreciate you giving me that massive introduction, and I haven't had an introduction like that since I was on TV, so I appreciate that. Well, I'm just kicking it right now, just chilling. What's up? What's going on?
The same old hanging and banging. I was actually talking with a friend of ours from way back in the day the other night. You'll probably remember him as the Tower of Torture, and back from our LIWF days. Can you believe it's been 17 years since all of us have met and known each other?
Well, I can't believe it how time flies. And you mean Lace on the Tower of Chitlins? Yeah, I know they thought for many years. Yeah, I mean it's just weird as it is 17 years. How time flies. What I realize is that you definitely gotta appreciate life. Because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of the boys pass away, and I feel bad about that. But then that opens your eyes of how you need to hold on and appreciate every moment that you have on this planet. Regardless if it's wrestling with your family, hug them, kiss them, enjoy every moment because you never know when is your last day.
You got that right. Nothing is promised, especially tomorrow.
Absolutely,
So I know that you were just in New York, back in the old stomping grounds a couple weeks ago, and you were hanging out, doing some stuff over there. What were you doing exactly back in the stomping grounds?
Well, Johnny Rod, my trainer, he's my mentor. He's like my father figure. He requested that he needed my assistance out there, to do a show. So he flew me down to Gleason's Gym to perform at his show at the world's famous Gleason's Gym to face Matt Striker for the junior heavyweight title.
Excellent. And how did everything go there while you were there?
Oh, it went pretty well. It was good to see, people that I haven't seen in years, Prince Nana, Kid USA, just many guys, from the days, it just brought back some memories. It's just so weird how time flies. But once we get back together, it's not like we have lost the beat. We're definitely talking. We're definitely cracking jokes like it was just like in the 90s,
And that's how it usually is with the boys. You get back together, and after a couple of minutes, it's like, hey, it never changed. So anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, you go from, working like the independents, the LIWF, and doing stuff with Johnny Rods to becoming a member of ECW. What was that like for you, a guy from, New York doing that?
Oh, man, it was a blast. I mean, the locker room was just so overly friendly. We were the extreme team, the extreme organization, but, behind closed doors, everybody was caring about each other. It was a family. It was a group of individuals that wanted the company to succeed. So it just felt good, to be part of that organization, be part of history, because no matter what, you'll never be able to take that away from any of the boys from ECW. We're part of an organization that falls in a legacy of its own,
Oh, absolutely, and you can definitely see the camaraderie there between everybody outside of what was, as you said, the extreme team. When you got outside of that locker room and you were doing your thing, you could see that everybody genuinely cared about one another.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean that's the thing. To this day we still talk to each other. We still I still talk to to Vito, Big Vito, Mikey Whipwreck. Sometimes I bump into him. Stevie Richards. I mean, we just all bump into each other, and it's just always a good experience to hang out with them,
Absolutely. Now, what year did you go to ECW?
I was in ECW in, I'm trying to I think in 97, 98. I think at the end of 97, so I remember it was the summertime, because when I got not hired on, but part of the locker room was in the hardcore November to Remember, or it was November to Remember. But it was hot, as I recall. It was in Buffalo, New York. I know it was in Poughkeepsie. No, I'm sorry, it was in Poughkeepsie at the original building. And that's when I got hired on. And I remember we were sweating because it was hot. But I'm trying to remember Hardcore Heaven. That's what it was.
Okay.
So I was there at Hardcore Heaven, setting up the ring with DeVito and Bill Wiles and Tom Marquez, and we were just doing the ring crew at the time.
Now, from ECW days of your experience with Paulie to what you see Paulie doing now on WWE, is it the same character? Has he changed it? Has he tweaked it?
I mean, Paulie is Paulie, you know, Paul Heyman. I mean, he's still the same person. It's just I mean, he's an excellent speaker. I mean, I can't speak anything bad about the character and the person. I mean, he that's Paul Heyman, you know. I mean, that's the person that he what's the word? You know, he enhances who he is. So, I mean, what do you see in the ring is not what it really is, but it's just enhanced a little bit more to give it that a little flavor, you know.
Gotcha. Now, the entire time you were with ECW, who would you say was the most influential on your career, the one that helped you out the most in getting through everything in your ECW career?
I'd say Devon, because he's the one that helped me out. You know, he was the one that got me in. He's the one that gave me advice. He was the one that always checked up on me to see if I was okay. If I had any questions, he was always there for me. You know, it was never far from, you know, from helping me out. So, I mean, if I could say anybody, it was Devon, because he was always there for me. I never had asked Devon for anything. That's one thing about me. I hate asking for things, you know, because that's just not me. So Devon, it was, you know, he put his hand out. He was the one that, you know, passed the, you know, help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? Once, you know, like I got help from Devon, I love to help another brother out to get them where they're going. So Devon is just, you know, helped me out without me asking. He put out the olive branch of friendship, you know, and just guided me through some, not tough times, but just helped me out, you know. I mean, you know, any questions that I had, any concerns, you know, even when I was hurt and I told him I was okay, he's still like, you know, this is me you're talking to. Are you okay? You know, so he showed a lot of concern for me when he was, you know, in ECW.
Now, speaking of Devon, I know you got a big card coming up with Devon and Rhino, if I'm not mistaken, where you're actually going against Rhino. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's going to
the thing is, yeah, absolutely. We're doing the show next week, you know, hardcore road trip, you know, meltdown, DTA, you know, don't trust anybody. It's an opportunity for me to showcase my skills, to finally show the people that the Kingpin is a legitimate person. That the fact is that, you know, I'm facing Rhino, and like I said, I never pass anything by Rhino, but I know for a fact, I know in my heart 110% that I could beat him. So, yeah, I am looking past him because I know I'm going to eat him up alive. And then it's Devon. You know, I mean, you know, as soon as we step through the ropes, that's it. Friendship's out the window. This is business. And, you know, and for many years, you know, me and Devon never, ever crossed paths in the ring. And, you know, and that's the thing, you know, so this is bigger than the title for me. This is to show who is the best of the best, who is the true pioneer from Gleason's Gym, you know. And maybe, you know, I might sound cocky, maybe I might sound like this is not, you know, the angel that, you know, talks about Devon as a friend. Yeah, I am a friend of his. We're buddies, you know. We talk outside the ring, you know. But again, this is business, and once we go through those ropes, friendship is out the window, you know. And I can see in his eyes, Devon's a little concerned about that, you know. When you have an opponent that even makes coffee nervous, there's an issue. You know what I mean?
Makes coffee nervous. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it sounds cocky as much as it sounds that you're confident in your ability and confident in the fact that you know who you are as a man and as a wrestler, and confident in the fact that you know exactly what you want and you know exactly what it's going to take to get that. And I don't see it as being cocky at all.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You know, the thing is that I was the one that went to Canada. I was the one that had faith in the Canadian fans. You know, Devon just sees the belt as just another trophy. I see it as the heart and soul of Canada. And you know, he just sees another paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. He just sees another thing that he could put on his mantle. The saddest thing about being blind is having sight without vision. And the vision that I see is Canada. I see Hardcore Road Trip as the company that is going to excel in Canada. So I see a future, and I see it in those fans' eyes. And to look at Devon to come into my ring, you know what I'm saying, my ring, my house. When you come to my house, you knock on my door. You walk in after I invite you. You sit down and you wait for me to give you an offer of a drink. So that's what he needs to do when he comes into my environment. Because the problem is this, and I respect that he won 23 titles, but the 23 titles that he's won is with Bubba. Everything I've done with the Baldies, the Kingpin showed that 100% that he could do it without the group. Even though we were a unit, each individual had their own place in the team. And DeVito could handle his own, Big Vito could handle his own, but I know for a fact the Kingpin can handle his own. So the thing is that, you know, Devon, hell of a worker, hell of a wrestler, but now he has to face one-on-one. One-on-one. He don't have a partner to cut me off in the, you know, from around the corner. He has to face me. So this is what it is. This is what it's all about. Who is the best out of Gleason's gym? And I hold that as a high title.
So basically what you're saying to all the fans out there is you don't foresee any problems whatsoever, that you're going to go right through Rhino, you're going to go right through Devon, and basically your home is your home, and everybody has to answer to you.
Well, absolutely. The thing is this. There's one thing. I'm not saying I'm going to go right through them. The thing is this. Once they face me, they're going to know they've been in a fight, and I'm going to know I've been in a fight. But they got to take this title out of my cold, dead hands, because I am not going to lay down and buckle to them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bleed. If I'm going to bleed, I'm going to bleed for the people. If I'm going to go through a table, I'm going through the table for them, and I'm putting people through the table for them. And that's my passion. These guys are just like, you know, it's just like this. When Eddie Murphy first came into the business, he was the funniest motherfucker. Oh, yeah, you know, because he was hungry. He had that passion of comedy. Once he made those millions of dollars, the beautiful mansion, the beautiful women, guess what happened? He was not writing his own material. He had writers. He had people getting him coffee. He, you know, just like in Rocky III, you know, those fights were picked for you, Rock, because he didn't have the fire in his eyes, and that's what I see. You know, I see the chink in his armor, and that's why I know for a fact in my heart that I still got fire in me, and they're just coasting off, just trying to get another paycheck, another title, so they can put on their resume, so they can do what they need to do to make themselves feel better. Me, this is my house, my title, and they're not taking it.
It's funny you made the Rocky reference, because I was thinking that the whole time, how you're like the Clubber Lang of Rocky, and you've got that eye of the tiger, you've got that fire, you've got that charisma and ready to go in there and just do what you need to do. Yeah, you're going to pay hell, and yeah, you're going to be in a fight. But you know what? End of the day, when the dust settles, it's going to be the Kingpin on top.
And that's what I'm saying, and that's why I know for sure I'm going to come out on top. You know, and there's some people out there that doubt me because, you know, Devon is Team 3D and Rhino is gore, gore, gore. But you know what? Once you get the Mafia kick in the face, once you get, you know, the Kingpin, the Kingdom Come, you know, maneuver, it's over. And I know for a fact that they ain't going to get up after I hit them with the Kingdom Come move.
Out of the two of them, Devon and Rhino, is there anyone specific that you think is going to give you a harder time than the other?
Devon. Why? Because we are a mirror image. We're doppelgangers. You know what a doppelganger is? It's a person that survived. It's in your own realm that is your twin. And we trained under the same banner of Johnny Rods. You know, Paul Heyman used to say, when he used to look at us in the ring, he said, you guys work the same. So it's kind of hard to try to fight yourself, because every move he knows a counter. And every move he does, I know a counter. So it's kind of hard when you're fighting yourself.
Anything else going on with the Kingpin coming up? Any other shows that you'd like to talk about?
Well, yeah, I mean, right now my focus is our hardcore road trip, the company, but also I have some things going on in the works. I'm trying to get, trying to get into Mexico. Trying to, you know, maybe get a tour in Japan. So I'm trying to keep busy. Right now I hear that, you know, Jeff Jarrett has a new company coming out, so that's another opportunity that I could probably excel at. But right now, to be honest with you, I really, really have this passion that I feel that in my heart, that hardcore road trip, with the guidance of the brilliant mind of Steve DeAngelis and the know-how of Mark Livingston, these two individuals, is going to make this company grow and become, you know, the problem with the situation is this. You ever saw the movie Mr. Baseball?
Yes.
Right? When there is more outside the United States, and that's the thing. You can make millions of dollars in Japan. You can make millions of dollars in Canada, Mexico, you know, but people just think like we need to establish a wrestling organization in the United States to make it work. ROH, CCW, ECW, WWE, WCW. These are all companies that established good cores in the United States. But the thing is, Stampede Wrestling. I mean, that's the only one I know because, there's probably others, but Stampede Wrestling, after that was gone, there was not another company out there that is the brand, like ECW or TNA or whatever. But the thing is, I think this is going to be the growth of a new era for Canada. And I think that it's going to explode, and it's going to explode hard, especially after Extreme Rising failing, and all the situations that are occurring with them. This is our opportunity to be the flagship of what Extreme Rising was.
Nice. Now, do you think that, HRT is going to have the staying power of ECW? Do you think it's going to be able to rival what ECW once did?
Well, first of all, you have to get out of the ECW mentality because ECW, nobody can match ECW. It's a legacy. It's that you need to grow and become something else. Just like a Phoenix coming out of the flame. There was ECW, but now you have to blow it up. You still have ECW talent, some guys from ECW, but now you have to, just like the Phoenix, grow, and morph into something else. So I think with the knowledge of the guys who were in the original ECW, we're going to try to bring up and also help the new talent, like guys like Luke Hawks, like guys like, P.D. Williams, like guys like, Homicide, guys who were coming into the company that was not in ECW at the time, but these guys would have been hell of workers during the time of ECW. So we're trying to make this grow into a phenomenon, grow into something that's beyond what ECW has accomplished. We're just starting off where ECW left off, you could say.
So basically it's just going to be a continuation at the same time, a reemergence of to be bigger and better. Correct.
Because you can't copy something that was flawless, and that's what ECW was. But you can also, just like this. Hey, but McDonald's, the guy's like, hey, I could open another franchise, but call it Burger King, even though they're both the same burger. Oh, this one's flame broiled. This one got the secret sauce. It's still a burger. But what makes them different? The spin.
Exactly.
And we want to put a spin to it.
Now, you mentioned Jeff Jarrett and his GFW, Global Force Wrestling. Do you think you might have any aspirations to go over there?
Absolutely. I have aspiration to go anywhere. If Jeff Jarrett sees the possibility that he can make money off me, and I'm hungry and I want to make money for that company, I will do it. If he offers me a position and says, hey, I got an opportunity for you, do you think you can carry this ball into the end zone? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because, nothing's sweeter than some sugar and some cream in your coffee, and that's what I am to a company that's, that Jarrett could be starting.
Now, why do you think it is that TNA hasn't called you?
Because TNA is garbage. I'm sorry.
Wow,
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. TNA at one point when I first started watching, when Jeff Jarrett was running it, and I'm not trying to do that like, oh, Jeff Jarrett's running and now he's starting a new company, I'm kissing his ass. But it was the octagon, the six-sided ring, the angles, the storyline. But now it's like since he's gone, they start these good storylines and all of a sudden, boom, they die off. Or heavyweight champion guys, they just disappear. It's just like, whatever happened to this? Eric Young, which is a hell of a talent, but he became from the nervous Eric Young all the way to, to this champion. But why did Dixie Carter have to grab his beard and say, I'm the one who started this. I'm the one who needs to get royalties from this. I'm the one. Me. No, if you had enough conviction of what you had, what your product stands for, then it would have spoke for itself. You don't have to put it out there and tell the fans that you're the one that started it. The fans know that.
Exactly.
So if you're going to put it out there, that means you have some problems that you're like nervous. That little sting in the back of your ear, that's called fear. And that's the thing, that she's realizing that, oh, no, WWE is kicking my ass. So now I have to say that I'm the one that started the beard movement. Okay, fine. You did. You don't have to tell people that.
My thing is they really need to stop rehashing old WWE storylines.
Oh, absolutely. Old WWE storylines, WCW storylines, come up with some creativity. But you know what? No offense to Dixie Carter, but she's not a wrestling promoter. Look at all the Look at all the stories that you see on the old WCW DVDs and stuff like that. When Ric Flair's like, these guys that were in the office were not wrestling fans. These guys in the office didn't know anything about wrestling.
Exactly.
And then he mentioned one dude. He's like, this guy was the CEO of Pizza Hut or one of the guys. This guy was doing this at the time. They were not smart in the business, and that's what killed the business. Guys who didn't know nothing.
And
that's what they're doing at TNA.
That and Vince Russo.
Yeah, but Vince Russo, I don't know. I mean, the guy was weird. I mean, I don't even know the guy, so I can't talk bad about him. I mean, I just know what people tell me, and I was just like, well, okay, if that was his idea, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, listen, I know you're a busy guy, so I'm not going to keep you much longer. I just got a couple more questions for you, and the first one would be, if somebody came to you today and said, hey, Kingpin, I want to become a wrestler, and what do I do, and who should I go see? What steps should I take? What would you tell the new guy coming out of the box fresh?
To be honest with you, I would tell him, to really focus on a lot of other things as well. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Try to focus on your talent. Focus on your wrestling, yeah, but don't focus, that's all you want to be. Yeah, you have the passion, just like an actor, just like anybody who wants to make it in the business. But just make sure. And I know it sucks because people used to tell me I had something to fall back on, and which I'm like, I'm gonna, I just didn't want to hear that. Which I knew now that I'm like, you know what? Maybe they were a little bit right. Maybe I was just a little bit egotistical. That, I was afraid that if I focus on becoming, get a master's in biology, that it will take me away from the opportunities of wrestling. And but the problem is that a lot of things right now, like my opinion about college is a totally different thing, because you have to make your own footprints in the sand. And what I'm saying is you got to make connections. You got to, degrees and all that stuff are all tools that you could use, but it's not a guarantee for you to get into to a good position somewhere. So you always have to make connections, and that's how it is in wrestling. You have to befriend people. You have to be fresh in people's minds, and that's what you need to do. And my thing is just to get a good school, work out, stay away from drugs, which I'm not trying to promote, stay away from drugs, but it is. Look at a lot of the boys I know, passed away from, pain pills and stuff like that. Try to focus on more, to try to stay away from that. And then just focus hard and get yourself a good trainer and say your prayers, take your vitamins, brother, and believe in yourself.
There you go. Wow, that was awesome. I liked how you did that at the end there. Little flashback to Hulk Hogan, if you will.
Absolutely, brother.
Wow. Now, is there any particular school, and obviously I know you're going to be partial to Johnny Rodz, but any other schools that you could recommend throughout the country other than Johnny Rodz?
The only school, Luke Hawks has a great school. Bill Wiles is up in Larry Sharp, at the Monster Factory. That's a good school. They brought up a lot of good talent. Don't hold Bill Wiles, things do happen, but Bill Wiles is a good trainer, and he helps you out, and he'll get you to what you need to do. I know DeVito's right now, like, rolling his eyes, like, fuck him, the guy can't wrestle out of a paper bag, but Bill Wiles, the Monster Factory, that's a good school, and like I said, Luke Hawks is a hell of a trainer, and Johnny Rodz. There's so many other out there, but you have to have somebody with credentials, and Larry Sharp, Johnny Rodz, and I just look at Luke Hawks as not because not in the category of Larry Sharp and Johnny Rodz, but he has talent. So if I had to choose somebody who is not from the era of old school, I would go with Luke Hawks.
See, one of the ones other than Johnny that I always talk about, because if people are in the New York area, I try to tell them to go see Johnny. But outside of the New York area, one of the great ones that I always use is the Anawahi family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Noel Samoan School and all that stuff. Yeah.
You got Knox Pro Academy out in Cali now, run by Reno and Kishi and Gangrel and all them. So, but all right, man. Hey, you know what? Any last things that you want to talk to or tell the fans about?
Oh, absolutely. I just want to tell the fans I appreciate your support. In the United States, I appreciate the Canadian support in London, Ontario, Canada. I never felt the most heartwarming and most caring fans out there. And, you guys got to keep an eye on this hardcore road trip. I am telling you, don't blink, because this is something that's going to take pro wrestling by storm, especially Jeff Jarrett's organization. I'm telling you, this is going to be something that 2014, 2015, 2016 is just it's gonna ride up you like a wedgie, real slow. I'm not saying it's gonna be uncomfortable. I'm just saying that, just be prepared for things to start rising.
Basically, big things gonna be popping off, wrestling fans.
That's right. Just like herpes on DeVito's testicles, they just pop out of nowhere, bro. I mean, just be on the lookout.
Oh man. Hey, brother, I'm sure I'll talk with you before you head out to your hardcore road trip, but in any event, good luck out there. And not that you really need it. I know that, I've got the confidence in you as well that you're going to do well out there and take basically the whole company by storm and do what you do best.
Oh, absolutely. And, like I said, once you have faith in me, because, I'm going to keep this title, because once you go reeking, you never go seeking, and I am going to keep this title for a long time.
There you go, brother. Kingpin, Angel from ECW and Hardcore Road Trip. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Spotlight, the man, the myth, the legend, the franchise, the monopoly that is Micky Byggs. We'll see you next time at ringside.